Please listen carefully.
Hello, universe. Welcome to the Optimist Daily Update. I'm Summers McKay.
And I'm Kristy Jansen, and we are part of the team behind the Optimist Daily, making solutions the news. We bring you reader-funded solutions news every day, even over the holiday week. We do this to help change the tenor of news media, social media, and the direction of your day to help us all get focused on what's going right in the world.
7-ish days of the week, we publish positive news stories written by award-winning journalists and delivered online to your inbox and through our social channels. And also, we are sharing these solutions in a commute-worthy, walk-worthy, home office-worthy, holiday vacation for those of us in the Judeo-Christian fashion-worthy podcast. Today is Monday, the 27th of December, 2021. So, all right, like full stop, total honesty. Today is actually the 14th of December. Kristy and Amelia and Ariel and Carissa and I are getting really organized as far as sharing our best ofs for the rest of the month, because I am traveling with my toddler. Kristy has 10,000 things to plan. Amelia's going off to a great new job. Carissa's traveling with her family, and Ariel is hanging out in Amsterdam quietly with her partner. So we at the Optimist Daily are actually going to be sharing our best ofs. And these articles, these stories, what we're talking about on the pod for the next 5 days and what we are sharing on the website are the stories that have had the greatest impact, have reached the most amount of people, and have inspired solution thinking for our audience. And that's what we're doing. We're a little bit ahead of time, but we're doing it because we don't want to leave you hanging over the holidays.
And this week and next week, there's going to be so many amazing stories that we featured throughout the year that you may have forgotten about, or you may have missed it the first time around. So it's a great time to catch up on Optimist Daily Solutions.
Exactly. And including all of you people who are new to listening to the Optimist Daily Update, like literally the 10,000 of you that are new. Hey, what's up? How's it going?
So, and the way that it works for our last week or two of the year, we have best articles in different categories.
Curated by our editorial team, not by Kristy and me. They are our bosses. We listen to what they say.
They get to surprise us of what they thought and what you, our audience, thought were the most interesting articles, the most intriguing, inspirational, curious, inducing articles about all different themes. And Monday, today, we're talking about science.
Best of science theme. All right, Kristy, you first or me first?
Oh, it doesn't.
All right, I'm going to go first. Because I'm excited. Because my solution is so gosh darn simple that it makes me delighted by what's ahead for the world. The future is bright white. How paint can help cool a city. Last year, we wrote about a team of researchers led by Purdue University mechanical engineering professor Julun Rion, who invented a kind of paint that is so white that it reflects more than 95% of the sunlight that falls on surfaces covered in it. We adore keeping track of these solutions, and we are happy to give our readers an update on what his team has been up to lately. In a new mixture, the team has created a paint that is so reflective that it is now pushing up to 98.5% of the sun's rays back into space. Guys, this is like a heat-reducing mega blanket. This ultra-white paint has some awe-inspiring cooling powers as well. According to a paper, his team reported that it could keep outdoor surfaces 8 degrees cooler in the heat of the day, and lowering of temperatures can also significantly drop the need for air conditioning, making it a solution to improve buildings' efficiencies. Professor Julung shared his surprise at the intense buzz that his team's finding has been making lately, even earning a mention on Jimmy Fallon's Tonight Show, and it's a Guinness World Record holder. Long story short, my family is full of artists, and we were super excited about the blackest black of paint, right? The deepest, deepest black paint. My husband actually painted a mountain bike in the darkest black paint possible. And the Optimist Daily's version of it is the lightest, brightest white. And I just love this because we are looking at extremes and how they can positively.
You know what's so great about this solution is that heat waves is actually one of the worst impacts of the climate change on human health and well-being. And the part which you didn't read, which is also featured in the article, is that, yes, it can drop surface temperatures 8 degrees in the heat of the day, but it can help drop temperatures by 19 degrees in the nighttime. Yeah. And that is actually part of what has gone wrong in our warming climate, because if you don't have the nighttime cooling, then it doesn't give anything the ability to recover. So that's why.
Including your plants.
Including your plants.
Right.
And you think about a city like Phoenix, where a couple of years ago they couldn't have any planes taking off or landing because the runway was melted.
Too hot.
So this is actually a real solution that we're going to need to use to mitigate some of the.
Between this and like Aquapore and all of the design solutions that can improve our ecological impact and how we build our world, because we are humans, we are here, we are going to have houses.
Right.
Let's do it in the right way. Let's paint. You think about like the amazing places in Greece that are all these beautiful white buildings. We should take note and continue to reflect heat as opposed to absorb it and raise our temperature.
Speaking of design and putting systems design at the heart of how we respond to the changing climate, I wanted to talk about another one of my favorite stories from this last year, and it's about how the bootleg fire was a case that demonstrated the efficacy of Indigenous forest management. We wrote an article last September about the benefits of controlled burns and other Indigenous practices for wildfire management and mitigation. And this is something that in California, we're very, very familiar with the results of not managing our forests the way that the Indigenous peoples who have lived here for generations and generations used to do. But now that we've built so much into the forests and we're afraid of what might happen if a forest gets out of control, the forest fires happen anyway, and they have tons of fuels and they just go crazy, and we have these massive super fires. So one solution to this is to look towards our Indigenous wisdom that is available and maybe apply that to various forest fires and management. And we had an example of how this really did help in the bootleg fire in Oregon this year, which offered up some evidence to support that Indigenous practices could actually be life-saving in a climate change fueled fire future. There was a forest fire moving rapidly through the state of Oregon, but it came upon the Sickened Marsh Preserve, which is a 30,000 acre wetland. And it's a region that's thick with ponderosa pines and managed by the Nature Conservancy, which works with the local Klamath tribes to implement pre-colonial forest management techniques. So in this one nature preserve, the Klamath tribes work with Nature Conservancy to keep the forest managed in a way that they may have been doing in pre-colonial times. What they found when the bootleg fire came upon the Sickened Marsh Preserve, the fire slowed significantly, and it also dimmed. It got less hot as it reached that part of the forest, which gave firefighters time to move in and steer the blaze away from a critical research center. It also was a little reservoir of coolness that the wildlife flocked to.
Right.
So if things don't get so hot that the trees can actually recover well. Anyway, these green islands are super important in terms of helping to mitigate the worst effects of these massively dried out forests.
I love this story. I love all of the stories on today's Best of Science theme. We also have a story. The headline reads, "You can contribute to science while observing nature in your backyard." There is a new study that helps rocket us toward inclusive space travel. That wasn't long ago, and I think Ariel and I actually talked about that on the pod. This is how bacteria can help us recycle electric car batteries.
I almost talked about that one.
I know.
I didn't.
So good. Phoenix is using green space to tackle urban heat disparities. Kristy, what else is on our best of science theme?
Well, this was another great story, how one neighborhood used gamification to get people walking and cycling and out of their cars.
That was so fun to talk about. I love that episode.
I love that one too. There's an article about butterfly wing tech security and helping us keep art thieves from stealing things, I guess. There's an AI system protecting journalists and integrity of news media. And a star mapping algorithm from NASA is being used to save whale sharks, which I love. When I was a kid sailing, I used to love it.
Matt, did you come across whale sharks?
At times.
Whoa.
And they were one of the animals that I just really, really loved, along with dolphins. But dolphins are
the awe-inspiring nature of these great, massive whale sharks. I am jealous. I've seen millions of dolphins, but whale sharks? Lady, you rock. All right, everybody, go ahead.
That's it for today. Thanks so much for listening to the Optimist Daily Update in our special Christmas week edition of Best of the Year. We promise to keep sharing Christmas, New Year's, exactly. We promise to keep sharing positive solution-based stories with ideas on how you can get active and participate in the changing world. Make sure it's changed for the good. We promise to keep covering current events with accuracy, legitimate sources, and offering you the kinds of information that we all need to help chart new paths for all of us.
Hey guys, as we close out this new year, we really, really, really need your help. And how we need your help and how you can support the Optimist Daily is to become an emissary on optimistdaily.com for as little as $5 a month. You can support reader-funded independent journalism. Help us keep the Optimist Daily free to all who need it, supported by those who can. We will be back tomorrow with more solutions from the year we have all survived. Thanks, everybody. See you tomorrow.